Good morning. Thank you for joining me, everyone. Lots of people on there today. It must be cold outside, so you're all indoors. So good morning, Sarah, June, Heather, Sue, Julia, Brenda, Anne, Karen, Julie, Margaret, Stella, Ethel, Elaine, Eunice, Kaz, May, Carolyn, Catherine, June. Oh, I said hello to June. Shirley, Jill. Loads of you. Thank you. Thank you for joining me. And I hope that you're on the ball here today, folks, because I thought we're going to do a bit of maths, hence why I've got the ruler out, and hence why I've got my notched corner dies out. So today I'm actually doing a fancy card, I suppose you could call it, or a slightly different card, but also with it, I wanted to make a box to go with it. And I know that a few people have been asking, well, how do you make a box? So I just wanted to show you how I make a box. Now, it's not necessarily the way that everyone else should or does make a box, but I thought that I would go with that today. So first of all, I've done a fair bit of preps because there's like two things to show you. So I'm just going to show you how to make an unusual card first, and then we're going to make a box for it. So I'm going to be using my notched corner dies just to make it a bit different, really. And I've already cut out a little bit, but I wanted to actually make the card itself into a notched corner square thingy. What's it? And so I have taken some champagne card, it's called. I'm just reaching over for it. And I've already cut the largest size from one piece, but I want to make this to my actual card itself. So I've got another piece of the same coloured card, and I'm going to take my scoreboard, and I'm just going to, whoops, I'm just simply going to mark, let's say a couple of centimetres on one end there so that I can fold that over like so. Now I'm going to be using the scoreboard obviously for the box later on. So this was my largest die, so I'm going to take my largest die back out of there again, and with my folded edge at the top I'm going to tape my die into position so that my top edge of my die is completely free from, it's not going to cut, so completely free, but it's actually going to sit right on that edge because I want to be able to get as much as possible from there. So I'm going to tape that into position so that there's no problems with that moving, like so. And because I'm using craft to linen card, so it's not going to be massively thick. Otherwise, if you were folding over a top there, it might be a little bit more difficult to do if the card's too thick. But this is about a 220, 230 GSM. So I'm going to pop that through my machine like this, and I'm just going to cut that out first and foremost. Okay. Just grit and wind that. Oh, it looks as if it's very cold everywhere. It is blooming cold here, but no snow or anything. Oh gosh, crunch. So here we go, and that's our base of our card cutouts. Just remove that die. Now obviously I'm using the nesting dies because I find that that gives a really good finish to it, and you've got all the different layers can be done then going down in size. So let's put the card together, or let's get all the sticky tape off first if we can. There we go. So we've now got that little bit of a fold over there, and we're going to pop some glue onto it, and then we're going to pop our card absolutely on top of there. So let's just pop a little bit of glue onto there. Could put tape, but we're putting glue. And I'm going to marry it up down the bottom as well to make sure, but it's exactly the same size, so there's no reason why it won't fit exactly. So just fold that over so that when I then open my card, I've got my fold inside. Now you could, if you wanted, put an insert in there so that you can't even see that join. But in actual fact, if you were to just open it like that, you wouldn't see it necessarily. And some people put the join so that it is behind on the back of there, but I prefer not to do that because I want an absolute solid shape there. Okay, so I've already cut out a few layers and I've cheated a bit. So let me show you how I've cheated. So I've taken some, let's put that there and you'll be able to see. I've taken some papers from the new, I got these yesterday and I am in love with the new Knitwit Bloom with Grace collection. Now, I don't know if you're familiar with Knitwit papers, which are a downloadable thing. And I have had them for years and years, and they are beautiful quality, but they do take up a lot if you want to print them off. The idea is that you buy the download files and then you can print off as you wish. And if you want to do quite a few, with all the ink that it takes, it's quite a lot. Plus you've got to get the quality, and I don't know if there is such a thing as a 12, I suppose there is, a 12 by 12 printer, but obviously this is a 12 by 12 set of paper pads, and I just love them. All double-sided, excellent quality, and it seems that Crafters Companion have now got together with Knitwit, and they've done one, and then this is their second one. So that's what I've used, but you could use, for what we're going to do for the box later on, you could use any 12 by 12 papers. You really need, unless you're doing a small card, you really need to have a 12 by 12 piece of card or paper. So I have chosen some paper from there, but I'm cheating because it's such beautiful paper. I don't want to use it without thinking about it. So I have taken my, let's bring this back in again. So my outer die was this one. This is my biggest one. Then I've taken my next size down and I've cut myself a piece of the card, of the paper, okay, like so. Then I've taken my next size down, like that, and I've cut myself a same coloured card as my base. And then I've taken them out of the way and I've brought in my next size die down to cut out my centerpiece because I didn't want to waste the paper. So let me show you exactly how I mean with that. So that will give me a little frame that I can keep in place onto my base card like that. And then this piece goes on top and no one would be any the wiser that there's a massive hole in the middle and my next piece is already made. Yeah? See, not so daft as she looks, eh? So let's stick some of this down and get this into position. Oh, hold on, just get my glue all going. So I'm just going to put a little bit of glue all around the outside of my edge here. Like so. And then, as I said, because we're going to put another layer on top of it, no one will be any the wiser that this is just a very thin frame. And me like that sort of thing. So then you're only going to be using one sheet of that precious paper. So this one then's going on next. Don't want a bit of sellotape in there. And that goes down, as that fits beautifully then. And then my next piece. Now this actually has got words on it. So I do want to make sure that the words are actually around the right way. Of course, it would be annoying if I realised that there was words on it afterwards, would there not? And that, so I've missed one for that. if you see what I mean, missed a layer. So this one then goes in there like that. There we go. And then coming over here with some pre-prepared. So let's take that out of the way. Coming in now with a couple of next size down. So I've gone back to my usual format of my champagne, and I'm popping that one in the center there. So I've missed 2 or 3 now. I'm going down much, much smaller. But because it's all perfectly mathematically cut for you, you don't have to think about whether it's correct and whether it's going to look right with all of these little notches all in the right way. But I did say you need to be maths on it, so you will be in a minute. Don't worry, you haven't got away with it. Now, I'm going to put, that's the next size down, and it's cut from, again, this same one piece of 12 by 12 piece of paper, but I'm going to use it on the plain side because I've got some beautiful embellishments that are actually going to go into the center there. Okay, so that's my card base, and as we know, it opens up like that, so it's quite a nice effective thing, I think. So with the Knitwit stuff comes a lovely selection of bits and pieces, and so I'm going to choose some of those to go on here. So it comes with or I should say there is available an embellishment pack, and because I'm a great fan of Knitwits from a long time ago, I have treated myself. Didn't want such wide tape, so I'm just going to put some foam onto the back of this little beauty, and it's just making the card up here really so that it's all done. So this one's got, obviously with the papers it all matches, and that's what I like. So I'm going to pop that. We'll get the love round the right way. That's going to go into there. Then I'm going to get my glue gun. I'm going to turn that on because, again, I've cheated a little bit. Ooh. Because I am going to pop some ready-made flowers onto here. Now, I say cheated, I mean, they do look lovely. And some people neither like nor, or maybe aren't feeling capable of doing such a thing, of making your own flowers. And so we will do some anyway. I'm going to pop some little bits of leafy flourish onto my card. What's that one? And a bit down here. I'm going to cross those over. I'm going to pop a bit of glue to the center one there, and then a little diddy one there, and a little diddy one there. So I've got my flowers in place. Then it comes again with embellishments. It comes with some extra butterflies. I'm going to pop one butterfly on top of that butterfly that's already there, like so. And it also comes with these lovely little sort of saying things, and this one says, make your heart the most beautiful thing about you. And I rather like that, so I'm going to tuck that into there, and that means that I just need the corner stuck down. I'm just going to pop that into that corner. Okay, so my card's done. Don't need to worry about my card anymore. What I do now realise though is that, oh, it's not going to fit in an ordinary envelope, is it? And so I'm going to make a box for it. So how do I make my boxes? It's not rocket science for me, I'm afraid. I do think boxes are important when you've got something like this that obviously has got dimension. Yeah. So what I do, and I'm working in centimeters, I'm afraid, folks, I don't do inches. I had to get my husband, I was going to do inches for you as well, but I had to get the staff involved and tell me where an eighth of an inch or a 16th of an inch was, and I couldn't be doing with that. So no, we're in centimeters. All right, if we can count to 10, we can do centimeters. So subsequently, when I'm going to make a card, I first of all measure my card. So my card is about 19 centimeters across. Now I need to add a little bit extra to start off with, half a centimetre extra. And the reason for that is if I don't add any extra, I'll only just about manage to get my card in my box with nothing to be able to grab to get it out again. I don't really want the recipient having to shake the card out of it. So I would say that we were going to make this, say, 19.5. We'll just make it half a centimetre bigger all the way around. So that should be about right. So 19.5 centimetres. Okay. And then rule of 6, I add 6 centimetres. So if my piece of my card itself measures 19.5 centimetres, I need to cut a piece of card or paper, depending on what I'm going to do, to 25.5 centimetres. Okay, so 25.5 centimetres it is, and that I have taken from the papers that go with this. So therefore it all matches nicely. So this is the same colour as the little roses here. But on the inside, it's this what do they call it? Not check tooth. Something tooth. I can't think what it's called. But that's on the inside. And to be honest, I don't know that I would use that very much, that inside piece. But I do like the outside colour, and as I said, because it matches so nicely with that, that's what I'm going for that. So that one's 25.5 centimetres squared. So when it fits in, my card will fit in the centre like that. What is it? So dog tooth or hound's tooth? Now make your mind up, folks. I knew it was something tooth, though, didn't I? Let's let's be honest with that. Okay, so 25.5. Now, crucial bit. My second piece has to be measured at 25.5. 25.3. I need to take off the tiniest of millimeters. So let me show you. This one here is 25.5 centimeters. I'll bring it up to the camera so that you can see. 25.5 centimeters. Okay. And then I need to take 0.2 off. If I take half a centimetre off, it will be blobbing about in the breeze. I just need to take 0.2 off. So it is an eighth of an inch, so I've worked it all out. And that will make a slightly smaller base, and I have put B for base on the bottom of there. Okay, so that is the most difficult part, is just getting that measurement right, just making it very slightly different. Let's get the box around the right way, the board around the right way. So then I'm going to turn it over so that my wrong side is facing me, and I'm going to score it at 3 centimetres all the way around on all 4 edges and on both pieces of paper, exactly the same. So at 3, 3, 3 and 3. All the way around, exactly the same. I'm going to put my scoreboard out of the way, but I still need my burnisher here. So you can't see it quite so well there, but you can on that side. But now what I'm going to do is, before I do anything else, I'm going to trim. Now again, people do this differently, but I do this, the amount of times that I've cut this incorrectly in the past, and it looks funny. So I'm just going to do it the way that, as I said, that I do it. So you can see from here where the score lines are. So I've got them meeting in this cross point here. And I'm going to take my scissors and I'm going to cut up on the score line as far as my points meet. And then I'm going to do it on that piece as well. And then I'm going to turn it absolutely around, 180 degrees around, and I'm going to do exactly the same on this side. Now, this is where I've come unstuck in the past, because I've given it all sorts of twists and turns and done it one way and then done it the other, and then I found I've chopped the corners off. No, can't be doing with that. So subsequently, that's how I do it. So I'm going to do exactly the same with the base piece. So I'm going to go up in that corner as far as the cross as such, as far as they meet. And the same with that piece. And I'm going to turn it completely around so that we're going in the same direction every time. And we've got our base. Now, so this is the bottom piece. So let's just go in with this and just finish this one off. So I'm going to turn it round the right way again. I'm going to take my piece of my bone folder, and I'm just going to fold all of these pieces in so that I've got a nice fold. There and there. And then round this way. So all of my edges along my score lines are all folded in like so. Now, I could trim these corners down, and that's entirely up to you. By trimming them, I mean, and I'm not going to do it, so you could do it if you wish, I would just mitre these by taking the corner down to that point and then the corner down to there. But I find that it's not particularly necessary. So, and now, instead of you watching me fiddle about with power tape, red tape, anything you like, I'm using glue glaze, and I'm just going to pop some glue. It picks up quickly, grabs quickly, and that's what we like to do. And I'm just popping a bit of glue onto those two tabs. And the most crucial thing is that you get a sharp point there, or a sharp meet, so that those two pieces meet absolutely. And then we're going to do that on the other side. So by giving an extra whatever your measurement of your card is, plus an extra 6 centimetres, gives you always a 3 centimetre border all the way around. So that's just over an inch. And I think that there's probably very few cards that would need any more depth than that. So I don't think that you can go too far wrong by adding 6 centimetres. But at the same time, you can vary that depending on how deep you did want it to be. So that's the base done. Now I've got my lid, and I'm going to do that in exactly the same way. Oh, didn't see the bone folder for looking. And just score all these bits as well. I used to have have we decided it's houndstooth now? I used to have a pink jacket like that, and it's not that long ago that I decided to get rid of it, and it was beautiful. But unfortunately, it don't fit no more. You know what that's like, don't you, eh? Well, or is it just me? Could be just me. So before I fold this all up, I'm just going to pop a couple of little half circles in it, so that I can actually remove this lid without too much difficulty. So I'm going to take my 1-inch punch or something similar. This one was an old Stampin' Up one, and one of the very few things that, although it was expensive, I've used it time and time again, is just a small circular punch. If you don't have a circular punch, you could cut it out by hand, or if you have a small circle die, you could also pop that in there as well. So on 2 opposite corners, I'm just going to put my punch in upside down so I can see what's going through it. And I'm going to try, if I can, to get halfway in the middle of my edge, my side. And I'm going to just pop my circle punch so that it is halfway, giving me a moon shape. And we're just going to punch that out there, and then I'm going to turn it round, and I'm going to see if I can match it up more or less. And again, halfway and punch, so that I have got something to grab hold of there. Okay, now then we're going to just do our little flaps. And again, I'm making it quickly, but if you were to take a bit more time over it, you might want to mitre these corners a little bit, because it does look quite posh if you do it like that. So just bringing in those corners like that. And again, crucial bit, making sure that those two corners are as sharp as they can be. That's that one. And I'll bring it to the side. I have to say, this glue glaze is brilliant for this. I mean, it really grabs so quickly. I like it a lot. I do. I like it. A bit like I like the papers. Really, really liking those papers. So, just do these corners as well. Yeah, I don't always mitre my corners, I'm afraid, June. I think I've got too much to do in my life for mitering corners. But anyway, whatever. So then my box will go sitting over the top and fit in there beautifully. And then when I look on my edges there, that's where I'll be able to then take it off. I mean, if you didn't do it, you would be quite okay, but it does give you something to hold on to lift the box off. And then your beautiful card, which I think is lovely, will fit in there nicely. And as you see, there's just a little bit of a room around it, because otherwise you don't want it to be so tight that you can't move it. And even though we didn't I didn't particularly like the houndstooth, I think it looks beautiful to have a coloured inside as well. Yeah, so let's put our lid back on the top like that. But that does look lovely, but let's just finish it off, because let's go with one of the already cut out decoupage toppers that also come with this beautiful set. So these are just push out for any decoupage or anything. I just think it looks really pretty to have something on the top. You know, it's just me, maybe. So just bending them a little bit because I didn't want them to be completely flat. And I'm going to take a little bit of tape and just pop these layers together. So I'm just going to pop a little bit onto here, just to give myself a little bit of dimension. And that goes on the top just about there. And then another little bit on here. You could do anything though. The leafy flourishes that I used for, that's the leafy flourishes that I used for the leaves on the card. That looks really pretty as well. Just adding some of them and some more flowers onto the front of the card maybe, or anything really. But I think it just looks really pretty to have something else on the box, so that the box isn't just the things. Obviously then you would do it up with a bit of ribbon, and I would do it up like a parcel ribbon. Let's get this around the right way, that way. And so I've now got my decoupage on the top like that, and then bringing back in my box, I then place that in the corner there. Now I could also put on Who It Was To there or something like that. And again, with the die set, the whole thing comes with some beautiful panels, I suppose you could call it, that you could write who it was to and all that sort of thing. So let's just pop this in. But a beautiful bit of ribbon now would really look rather yummy, I think. And I think that if you've got a decorated box as well, like that just makes you think, oh yeah, what's in here? Oh, thank you. That's so lovely. You can hear them say it now, can't you? Well, they should be saying it, shouldn't they? After all the effort you've gone to make your friends a lovely card. So a lovely card, but in a lovely box. And as I said, I working in centimetres, but that's because that's what I prefer to do. Oh, I can't see what I'm doing. So measure your card. That's the crucial point. Measure your card and add about 0.5 centimetre all the way around so that you can move the card within the box in the end. And then add 6 centimetres. And that's for your lid. And then take off 0.2 centimetre. So let me just show you on my ruler where 0.2 centimetre is, what I mean by 0.2. Hold on, trying to find a pokey tool to show you. So if this was 10 centimetres, and I said measure up to 10 centimetres and then take away 0.2, 0.2 is there. So that's take away 1, take away 2. And although it's a tiny little sliver, so equivalent to about 1/8 of an inch, it is that crucial. If you make it any bigger, your box lid will float around. If you make it both the same size, you will have to squash the bottom in order to get it in. But if you make it just 0.8 centimetre smaller, you can't go wrong. So 2 things for you today. 2 things to show you. 1, a lovely box. Oh, should I put the lid back on? No, I'll do it like that so that you can see. So a lovely box suitable for any card, but also a very pretty card and with a bit of a hinged card so that you can make your card into any shape that you like. So you could get a circular card and do it, an oval card and make an oval card, anything you like. But if you've got a bit of dimension and you don't want to squash it, make yourself a box. Takes a bit longer, but very much worthwhile, and then just decorate it. You could even have just taken these flowers, well, not those flowers, but flowers like that again, and put them over them. So you would have a second layer there. Okay, so there you go. So thank you very much. I will pop that lid back on again. There. Thank you very much for joining me. I will put all the information that I've put, I shall put it in the description of this video, so you should be able to see that what the measurements are that you'll be doing. And I will be back on Friday morning with a little something to show you at 10 o'clock. But I will also be back on Sunday morning at 11 with this week's special. And it's Valentine's Day, is it not? And I'm sure it won't be breakfast in bed in this place, but you never know your luck. So I should be here. But I thought if I said still 11 o'clock, it would be safe. I can't see anything happening other than that. No, you just can't get the staff. That's the trouble, isn't it? That's the trouble. So until such time, stay safe. Oh, little heads up now. Don't tell anyone this. If you were one of those ladies or gentlemen that treated yourself to the beautiful Christmas bauble stencil from Sweet Poppy, you may or you may not have noticed that there is a stunning die set that has now been brought out to go with it. It arrives with me later today. I have got a very limited amount of them. I'm going to put them on the website in just a short while, but once those have gone, I will be getting more in, but they won't be for another month, I'm afraid. But they will be coming, and if they're anything to go like by the bauble stencil itself, they will be very, very scarce to get hold of. So I will be putting them on very shortly. But once those ones are gone, there will be another month before the next one comes in, but you can pre-order it if you wish after that. Okay, so have a great day. Look after yourself, look after each other, be good, be kind, and all the rest of it. And as it says on my card today, make your heart the most beautiful thing about you. Take care. Lots of love. Bye.